Warning from a bone and joint specialist. 5 types of drinks that silently destroy your leg strength and accelerate muscle loss. Older adults must absolutely avoid them. As a bone and joint specialist, I must say this now, before it's too late. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even older, and you still believe that simply eating enough and drinking enough water is enough to feel secure about your health, then please stop for a moment. Because the very drinks you're consuming every day, the ones you think are harmless, the ones that feel familiar, may actually be silently weakening your legs, shrinking your muscles, and triggering nighttime cramps. I'm a bone and joint doctor, and over the past 15 years, I've treated countless elderly patients who collapsed in the bathroom, tripped on the stairs, or couldn't stand up after waking up, simply because their strength had been drained, starting from seemingly minor choices: a glass of orange juice, a can of soda, a cup of strong tea, or a store-bought smoothie. One elderly woman told me, "Doctor, I don't eat anything bad. I just drink fruit juice every day." But then she collapsed in the middle of the night from severe cramps and had to walk with a cane for the next 3 months. You see, it's not always the big things that weaken our legs. It's the small daily habits, the things we repeat thinking they're good, that actually drain minerals, cause electrolyte imbalance, destroy flexibility, and prevent muscle recovery. In this video, I'll reveal 5 common but dangerous drinks. If you don't make changes in time, your legs may no longer be yours, no longer strong, no longer in your control, no longer steady. And worst of all, you won't realize it until you fall. Watch closely, because all of the drinks I mentioned today might already be sitting in your fridge, on your table, or in your hand right now. The first drink I want to warn you about, please stay away before it's too late, is coffee. Do you drink coffee regularly? If yes, comment 1 below. Every morning, many people start their day with a cup of coffee. And for older adults, coffee isn't just a habit. It's a way to hold on to a personal rhythm of life, a bit of freedom, a bit of alertness, and sometimes a feeling of being young again amidst the slow pace of aging. I've met many elderly men and women who told me, "I've given up many things, but I haven't been able to give up coffee. It's been my companion since I was working." I understand. As a bone and joint specialist, I've never told my patients to give up what brings them joy and quality of life. But I've had to speak up many times when I saw their legs grow weaker by the day, cramps happening more often, knees aching on the stairs, or calf muscles throbbing for no clear reason. Because few realize that the very cup of coffee they drink every morning is slowly weakening their legs. Coffee is a strong diuretic. Even if you don't urinate more after drinking it, your body still loses water and minerals. This leads to electrolyte imbalance, especially potassium and magnesium, key minerals for proper muscle contraction, joint flexibility, and smooth nerve signaling. When these are lacking, older adults are more prone to cramps, especially at night, when the body naturally loses water during sleep. You may also feel weak in the legs after sitting for a while, or experience a tingling sensation in the soles of your feet when standing up. Caffeine also disrupts sleep, causing lighter sleep and earlier awakenings in older adults. And as you know, muscles only recover during deep sleep. Without enough rest, muscles don't heal. Without healing, they weaken, and weak muscles mean unsteady legs. Beyond that, coffee also inhibits calcium absorption, a mineral essential for bone health. Drinking coffee too often, while having a diet low in calcium and vitamin D, speeds up the risk of osteoporosis, joint pain, and discomfort in the knees when the weather changes. I once monitored a 68-year-old woman who lived alone and replaced breakfast with coffee every morning. Her reason was simple. I can't eat in the morning, coffee helps me feel awake. But within just a few months, she began experiencing calf cramps, knee pain when going to the market, and had to stop exercising for fear of falling. Only after she cut down on coffee, ate light meals like porridge and eggs, and added electrolytes, her legs gradually regained strength and no longer shook when getting up from a chair. I'm not saying coffee is the enemy, but at this age, you need to drink coffee with awareness, not out of habit. Treat it as a treat, not your daily fuel. If you truly love coffee, have just a small cup in the morning, after a light breakfast. Don't drink it on an empty stomach. Don't use it as a meal replacement. And if one day you feel a bit tired, or your knees are slightly sore, rather than reaching for a second cup of coffee, try sipping warm water, walk gently, and allow your body to reset naturally. Because one day, what you'll truly need isn't just a few hours of alertness, but a pair of steady legs to help you walk on your own, stand up by yourself, and live life on your own terms. The second drink I want you to know about and remove immediately is energy drinks. Before I explain why, let me share the story of Mr. Joseph, a retired mechanic from Michigan. For over 40 years, he lived with the sound of machines, oil fumes, calloused hands, and sleepless nights from working graveyard shifts. After retiring, he moved in with his son and occasionally helped take care of the grandchildren when their parents were at work. At 72, he was still healthy, cheerful, and mentally sharp. But recently, his legs began to push back. He told me that some mornings, when getting out of bed, his left leg felt like it was tied up. After walking just a few minutes, his knees would ache and his calves felt shorter. Many nights, he was jolted awake by painful cramps, so intense they made him break into a sweat. He was worried. He feared he was no longer able to help his family. I asked about his diet, and he described it in detail. It was fairly decent. Then he hesitated for a moment and said, "I drink energy drinks. Red Bull, not too often. Just when I'm tired. It helps me stay alert. I don't drink coffee, so I choose this instead." When I asked further, it turned out that not too often meant 1 can every day, sometimes 2. He had started drinking it 4 years ago because everyone at the factory used it to fight fatigue. And that's the issue. Energy drinks are not water. They're a form of stimulant, like a small shock to the nervous system, tricking your body into thinking it still has fuel and energy. But in truth, they're draining your body's reserves, especially in your muscles and heart. Energy drinks contain 2 to 3 times more caffeine than coffee, plus sugar, taurine, guarana, and flavor-enhancing chemicals. When young people drink them, they can move, run, and work out to burn off the extra energy. But for older adults who move less and have slower metabolism, energy drinks are like pouring fuel into an engine with worn-out cylinders. The elderly are very sensitive to dehydration and electrolyte loss, and caffeine is a strong diuretic. Energy drinks lower potassium and magnesium levels in the blood, making muscles prone to cramps, speeding up the heart, and causing shaky legs and weak hands. That's why many people feel jittery, anxious, sore, or sleepless after drinking them. And there's something very important: sugar. 1 can of energy drink contains 25-35 grams of sugar. That's 6 to 8 teaspoons. For older adults at risk of prediabetes, this is a sugar shock that spikes blood sugar quickly, then causes a crash, leading to muscle fatigue, leg tremors, and feeling like your battery just died in the middle of the day. That's exactly what Mr. Joseph was experiencing. I told him, that drink doesn't really help you feel alert. It just borrows energy that your body was saving for healing. The price is weaker legs. He fell silent. Then softly said, "Now I get it. Every time I drink it, I feel awake. But a few hours later, my legs feel heavy like lead." I advised him to quit completely and instead drink warm water in the morning, light herbal teas, low-sugar vegetable juice, rest on time, and eat a proper breakfast. After just 3 weeks, his cramps reduced significantly. He proudly told me he could now walk in the park with his grandchild without needing to rest constantly. Dear friend, at this age, you don't need alertness from stimulants. You need stability. You need your body to have enough hydration, nutrients, and sleep to restore strength, without borrowing from anything artificial. Remember, an energy drink might fight fatigue for an hour, but it can leave you exhausted for a whole month. And the scariest part, it makes you feel fine until your legs no longer listen to you. Don't let that happen, because you can absolutely choose to live sustainably, calmly, clearly, by relying on healthier habits. No need to trade away your muscles, your joints, or your sleep. The third drink, a sweet trap that silently weakens your legs day by day, is fruit juice. When I tell older adults that fruit juice can harm their muscles and legs, most of them look at me with disbelief. Some chuckle and say, "Coffee or energy drinks, I get it. But fruit juice? If that's bad too, then what's left that's good? Doctor?" Others argue back. TV and newspapers say orange juice boosts immunity, and apple juice is good for the heart. And I'm sure many of you watching this video are wondering the same. What's so bad about fruit juice? If you feel that way, comment 1 below. I completely understand that reaction. For years, we've been told that fruit juice is healthy, a symbol of vitality, nature, and purity. But what's the truth? Let me tell you a true story. Mrs. Evelyn, 78 years old, is the woman I mentioned at the beginning of this video. She lives with her granddaughter and is very meticulous, eating carefully and rarely using processed food. Every morning, she made fresh juice, some days apple, other days orange, or a blend of mango, pineapple, and banana. She confidently told me, "Don't worry, doctor, I live very healthily." But, ironically, her legs kept getting weaker. She couldn't stand for long. A short walk would tire her calves. Her knees hurt when climbing stairs. The worst was a severe nighttime cramp that made her cry, unable to straighten her leg. She had to massage it for nearly half an hour to ease the pain. Reviewing her diet, nothing stood out, except the daily juice habit. You see, fruit juice is not the same as whole fruit. When juiced, all the fiber is removed, leaving only the sugary liquid, especially fructose, which absorbs very quickly into the bloodstream. 1 glass of orange juice has 20-25 grams of sugar. Apple, mango, and grape juices have even more. For seniors, whose digestion and hormone systems have slowed, this sugar rush overwhelms the pancreas, leading to blood sugar spikes and crashes. The result? Rapid energy loss in muscles, feeling weak and shaky in the thighs and legs, higher risk of muscle cramps, knee pain, and joint stiffness long term. It contributes to muscle loss due to reduced protein synthesis. Worse, many people drink fruit juice on an empty stomach or replace breakfast with it. They think they're cleansing, losing weight, or helping digestion, but in reality, they're putting their body in a state of electrolyte deficiency, protein shortage for muscle repair, and starving their joints of proper nourishment. In Mrs. Evelyn's case, after just 2 weeks of stopping juice and switching to whole fruit, combined with a little protein like Greek yogurt, boiled eggs, or oatmeal, she noticed a big improvement. No more cramps, stronger steps, no longer afraid to stand up from a chair. Her case isn't rare. I've seen many similar ones, people who are kind, careful, and live healthy, but make the wrong choices by trusting what everyone says is right. Dear friend, I'm not telling you to stop eating fruit. Fruit is wonderful, if eaten the right way. But remember, what's too convenient often means losing something important. Fruit juice loses fiber, speeds up sugar absorption, and leaves your body in a sugar shock without you even realizing it. Just imagine, you drink a glass of juice to feel energized, but a few hours later, your legs tremble slightly when standing up. You think it's the weather, but it happens again. And one day, you stop walking around the house like before, because of something that seemed so harmless. Choose whole fruits. Let your body digest slowly and absorb fully. Not just sugar, but also fiber, vitamins, and minerals that your muscles truly need. Don't let the gentle sweetness of juice blur your path to real health. Because your legs need to be steady, more than speedy, and you deserve that. The fourth drink, likely sitting in your fridge right now, I beg you, please stop drinking it. It's extremely harmful to your legs. That drink is cold water. I'm certain that if we opened most people's refrigerators, especially during summer, we'd find at least one chilled bottle of water ready to go. Some people drink it first thing in the morning. Others can't eat without an icy drink beside them. Some say, "Cold water helps me feel refreshed and alert all day." Do you agree with what I'm saying? If yes, comment yes below. There's no denying the comfort of a cold drink, especially after a long day or a deep sleep. A sip of cold water feels refreshing, cool, clean, and like it resets your whole body. But what most people don't realize is that those few seconds of cool relief can come with a hidden price, sometimes paid by your legs. I've met many older adults, each with different health issues and life situations, but they all had one surprising thing in common: drinking cold water as a daily habit. And over time, they came to see me with the same kinds of complaints. I wake up and my legs feel heavy. I don't want to walk. Doctor, I often get leg cramps at night, especially my calves. They turn hard as stone. Lately, my knees ache for no reason. Even short walks make my legs tired. At first, they thought it was due to age, the weather, or maybe low calcium. But after careful examination, there wasn't anything unusual, except for one unnoticed habit: drinking cold water daily, especially at their most vulnerable times, after waking up or after meals. My dear friend, after age 60, your body doesn't respond the way it used to. Every system, from circulation to digestion, slows down, needs warmth, stability, and is easily affected by sudden temperature changes. When you drink cold water, your peripheral blood vessels, especially in your legs, constrict instantly in response to the cold. This reduces blood flow to muscles and joints, leading to calf soreness and numbness, knee fatigue when standing, persistent coldness in the feet, especially at night, and more seriously, mild muscle atrophy, cramps, and reduced strength in thighs and hips. On top of that, cold water affects digestion directly. A chilled stomach slows digestion and reduces protein absorption, which your muscles need for recovery. So if you're eating well, but your muscles still feel weak, or your legs tremble when standing, take a closer look at the water you're drinking every day. Aging doesn't mean you have to change everything, but it does mean you need to choose more carefully, even with the smallest habits. A cold glass of water might bring momentary comfort, but if taken at the wrong time, in the wrong way, it can trigger the opposite: blood vessel constriction, poor circulation, impaired digestion, and eventually weak legs, aching joints, and loss of daily independence. So, build a new habit. Drink warm water, especially after waking up, before bed, or after meals. Warm water helps dilate blood vessels, improve circulation, support digestion, keep muscles and joints warm, and most importantly, protect your legs. Because in the end, what carries you far in life isn't a gulp of cold water. It's a warm body, steady legs, and a wise choice. And the fifth drink on the list that older adults should avoid is carbonated soft drinks. Have you recently experienced leg numbness after sitting too long? Do you feel like it takes more effort to stand up from a chair? Or maybe your legs just seem weaker lately, for no clear reason? If so, I truly hope you'll listen closely to this part, because sometimes the real culprit is a habit you thought was harmless: drinking soda. I know, many of us, even in our 60s or 70s, still enjoy soda, cola, or fizzy lemon drinks. They're bubbly, sweet, and refreshing, especially during meals with fried food or family gatherings. Some drink it to help digestion. Others say, "I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol." What harm could a soda once in a while do? The issue is, soft drinks aren't just sugary beverages. They're a mix of sugar, phosphoric acid, coloring, caffeine, and carbon dioxide, a combination that pushes both the digestive and musculoskeletal systems into overdrive, especially the muscles and knee joints in older adults. First, let's talk about sugar. One can of soda contains an average of 35–40 grams of sugar. That's nearly 10 teaspoons. For older adults, this causes a rapid blood sugar spike, followed by a sudden crash, leaving you tired, weak in the limbs, or even cramping and shaky. Over time, if this keeps happening, your muscles won't have the energy to recover, leading to gradual muscle loss. Next is phosphoric acid. It gives soda its tangy taste, but it also blocks calcium absorption, weakening bones, wearing down joints, and increasing the risk of osteoporosis and knee pain. Many people who've regularly consumed soft drinks for years later experience broken hips from minor stumbles, or hear popping noises in their knees when climbing stairs, without ever suspecting it was that familiar drink causing the problem. I once treated a 69-year-old woman named Judith. She lived alone, was generally healthy, and could walk well, but recently, her legs had become noticeably weaker. She had to hold on to chairs just to sit or stand. No major health issues, normal diet, except for one detail: every lunch, she drank 1 can of soda to help swallow the food. She thought, "It's just one a day. I'm not addicted." After replacing soda with plain water, cucumber-infused water, or lightly warm herbal tea, she returned after 3 weeks and said, "My legs don't feel as tired. My body feels lighter. I'm sleeping better too." Not everyone sees immediate effects, but for older adults, soda slows muscle recovery, dries out joints, and destabilizes motor nerves. You might feel unsteady when walking, experience calf pain, or wake up with stiff knees. Even worse, soda is addictive. The more you drink, the more you crave. And soon, plain water doesn't taste good enough anymore. That's when dehydration and electrolyte imbalances creep in, and every step feels heavier without you knowing why. My dear friend, I'm not asking you to live harshly or give up all joys, but when a joy makes you unable to stand tall, that's no longer a safe joy. Try gradually reducing your soda intake. Replace it with diluted, low-sugar fruit juice, warm water with a few ginger slices, or simply cool, natural water. Your body will thank you with deeper sleep, stronger legs, and a true sense of lightness. Not from fizz, not from sugar, but from natural healing. Please remember that. Dear friend, we've just gone through 5 types of drinks that seem familiar and harmless, but could be silently draining the strength from your legs, your muscles, your knees, your balance, and even your confidence when walking. Maybe among them, you suddenly recognize a habit you've kept for years, like sipping soda with lunch, a glass of cold water each morning, or a bit of fruit juice before bed. These little things, over time, can lead to big consequences, not through intense pain, but through subtle decline. A leg cramp that wakes you up, a near fall getting out of bed, or that strange feeling that your legs no longer belong to you. As a bone and joint specialist for over 15 years, I've seen too many people who didn't realize their physical decline until it was too late. They came to me after needing a cane, after losing their independence, after realizing they no longer had control over the most basic thing, walking on their own 2 feet. But what I truly want to emphasize today isn't just the drinks themselves. It's the way we choose to live after we've learned the truth. Because aging doesn't begin when your hair turns gray or your hands tremble. Aging begins the moment you stop listening to your body. When you let old habits decide your health today. When you choose convenience over kindness to yourself. Take a moment each day to listen to the little signs. Why do my legs feel heavier getting out of bed this morning? Why did I get a calf cramp last night? Why do my knees ache going up the stairs? These questions aren't to worry you, they're to wake you up. Because maybe your body is gently asking you to change. Slowly. No extremes. No perfection. Just willingness. Just pause before pouring a glass of soda. Choose warm water instead of cold after waking. Ask yourself, will this make my legs stronger? Health doesn't come from grand decisions, but from small, repeated choices each day. A proper glass of water, a good night's sleep, a mindful step forward. These are all ways you tell your body, I still care for you. And the body, no matter how old, will always respond with gratitude. Stronger legs, steadier heartbeat, and genuine joy when you can still walk beneath the morning sun, as if nothing had ever been lost. I know change is never easy, especially when you've done something the same way for most of your life. But it's also because you've lived so long that you understand better than anyone. There is no treasure more precious than your health. There's no savings account more valuable than still being able to walk, to brew your own cup of tea, or to have enough strength to hold your grandchild each weekend. So, if this video made you think, I hope it doesn't stop there. I hope you act, not because I said so, but because you want to. Because you deserve to live well, live freely, and live fully, right to the end of your journey. And if you know someone, a loved one, a partner, a neighbor, who repeats these same habits every day. Please share this video with them, because perhaps one small action today might help them preserve stronger legs in the future. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, leave a comment sharing your own story, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more gentle, simple, and inspiring health tips every week. Remember, aging is not the end. It's a reminder to slow down, go deeper, and love your body more every day.